All right, take it away, Dave, in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome to Game of Thrones Weekly. This week we're gonna get all Jungian, philosophy, psychology, Myers-Briggs test. We're talking about it and which character fits into what. It's gonna be fun. Join us now. Hi.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah,
Meow, 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 meow. Now, does this have? This is the new theme for the upcoming season.
Yeah, it is.
They've decided to have an all-cat cast.
Yep,
They
it's gonna be
announced
great.
that.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to Game of Thrones Weekly. I'm Dave Child. You can find me at mrdavechild or davechild.com. How far can I let this play behind us?
So good. It's the greatest version of the song ever.
Yeah. Welcome my co-host, Yell.
Hello, I'm Yell Teagle. I'm everywhere at Yell Teagle. That's YAELTYGIEL. And online at Yell TV. That's YAEL.TV.
Thanks for joining me this
Thank
week.
you for having me. Thanks for letting me play this.
Yeah, this was her suggestion.
Yeah.
I love it though.
Thank
Although
you.
I feel like there should be like a dog that comes in, like during the
No. Oh, that'd be nice.
You know,
actually,
like,
you're right. You're totally
to
right.
harmonize.
Yeah.
This is about like it could be about all of the animals coming together.
It's
Which
my
is really what Game of Thrones is about.
Yes, it is my favorite version, and my second favorite version is says the F word a lot. That's my
Right,
second
that's
favorite
probably-
version. Yeah, so I went with the cats.
Keep this family friendly because Game of Thrones, if anything, is a family show.
It really is.
It's about families. It's about families fighting one another.
And family love.
Yeah, and familial love.
Yeah.
Real familial love.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, this week we're going to talk about, listen, I don't know if you've heard of the Myers-Briggs test. I don't know if you've been on Facebook. But if you have, then maybe you've heard of the Myers-Briggs test. It's one of those things that pops up. People like to take. One thing I've noticed is after a lot of people, I find out what personality my friends fit in. I see that there's a Game of Thrones character that matches with them that is in the same personality spectrum. So I'm like, okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about like where what these personality traits are, what the weaknesses, the strengths are, and look at the Game of Thrones characters through that lens. I think that'll be fun.
Before we do that, do
Yes.
you know where you fit?
Yes, I do.
What are your letters?
What's interesting is mine does not fit in with any of the Game of Thrones characters I found. So there'll be some gaps here because there's some of the personality traits they don't pop up with a Game of Thrones character.
Okay.
And personality type. But I'm a campaigner. I'm a campaigner, which is an ENFP. It's of the diplomats section.
Okay.
Okay, and they're enthusiastic, creative, and sociably free spirits who can also find a reason to smile. But they're also terrible with, like, everyday activities. They're also terrible with, like, cleaning up after themselves, doing this, and there's no...
Wait, are you just deciding this, or is that written?
No, that's
Okay.
what it is.
I thought you were like, also, I don't clean my room, Mom.
I don't clean my room, Mom, but I'm an adult, and that's okay. So it's one of those things that has, a lot of these have, I'm looking at the website 16personalities.com. You can go there, you can take your test, you can post about it on Facebook. They do
tweet it at me.
Tweet it at us.
Yes, I want to see it.
And they have a bunch of Game of Thrones characters that they match up with each of these personality types. But campaigner, they don't have one. But I feel like there are people that fit in there and they just don't have it. But we can get into that a little later.
All right.
Do you know who you are?
I don't.
Okay.
I've taken the test and I was like, oh, I'm these letters. And then I forget immediately because
What that means.
4 letters are too hard for me to remember, but also what they mean is too hard for me to remember.
Well, the good thing about 16 personalities is they give it a name on top of those weird letters. Because the letters mean stuff. The letters mean like...
Extrovert,
Extrovert,
something. So that's the only one I remember because
whatever.
I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't be on like, hey, listen to us talk about our favorite TV
That's
shows.
not true. We're secluded. We're in a tiny studio where no one can talk to
Right.
us.
But they're there. Hey, By the way, you could talk to us on the chat. You can go and I'm checking it every now and then, but there are just 2 of us, so keep that in mind. It's hard to keep track of a chat.
Yeah, so if you have something fascinating, say it in all caps and just keep repeating yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Michael Finkley Jr. has joined us, though.
Hello.
He's there. Hey. Okay, so, but before we get into the personality types, I did want to talk a little bit about Game of Thrones news.
Ooh.
Not big news, but it's a little big news.
The biggest news.
One thing that happened.
Exclusive.
This is exclusive because we saw it on Instagram. It turns out Emilia Clarke and Jason Momoa, I know I'm saying their name wrong, but they're hanging out. They were hanging out at a London pub.
They're so cute.
If you can see the picture of them, oh, my moon and stars. Look at that.
They're adorable.
Oh, and I guess he was in town promoting Justice League because he's Aquaman.
Yeah.
Coming out. He's moved from the horses to the seahorses.
Nice.
Perfect.
It's good.
Perfect.
I ruined it. Sorry.
Well done. But yeah, they were hanging out according to Emilia Clarke's Instagram.
According to Instagram, they hung out.
Yeah, but you know, if you feel like that's a ship that could still be sailed upon, you're wrong, because Jason, a month ago, he had a secret wedding with Lisa Bonet.
What?
Yeah, Lisa Bonet he's married to now, of the Cosby Show fame.
Wow.
Yeah, and so they're together. They've been together for a while now, and I guess they just got married, like secretly.
I don't know why I didn't know anything about this relationship, but maybe it's because I assumed that I had a shot.
Yeah, but also like, damn attractive kids. If they ever have kids, those kids are just gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see. I think we have get the duo picture of them up. Yeah,
But she's tiny.
she is very tiny, and he is. I think he's just very big.
Yeah.
He's just a big man, big barbarian man.
Yes, he is.
All right, that's my little news. But also, I wanted to. This is old news, but last time I was here, I was talking about monsters. So I was talking about the dragons, and on September 25th. So this is old news, but I did find this interesting. Neil deGrasse Tyson tweeted that he started tweeting all these Game of Thrones facts and looking at like the actual science behind some of the Game of Thrones and critiquing the physics here and there.
Yeah.
And I love this one tweet that he wrote. It says, intriguing thermal physics in Game of Thrones. Blue dragon breath would be at least a factor of 3 times hotter than red dragon breath. Because there was conversation about the white dragon. Now that he's come back from the dead, he has blue fire. And we talked a little bit about how it's probably hotter than the other one. And now we have a scientist backing it up. So that's another bit of news. Also, I brought up last time I was here, last month, that Nicola, which I know I'm saying his name wrong. So Jaime Lannister, the guy who plays Jaime Lannister.
Nikolai something.
Nikolai, he has like a real surprising Denmark name. I think he's from Denmark. Anyways, Nikolai Coster-Waldau is said that like the scripts are so under wraps that they don't even read them until they perform them. That they're broadcast into their earpieces and he reads them out. And that was something that my co-host Nate Miller was convinced about. And I said I was suspect. I felt like that was a Lannister lying to us. And I think that's very true, that he is actually trolling fans because he has a history of that. And also Liam Cunningham, who plays Sir Davos, has said that he's received the next 6 scripts, but they were under like kind of lock and key. So don't worry, because I got a little scared, like that's going to affect the acting. Yeah. If they're beaming them straight into their brain as they start talking.
That's not how acting works.
No. No, it's not. I know enough about acting to know that's not how it works.
I know at least this much.
Yeah, I know at least that much. But that's that's my news. It's not much news. Exclusive
all
news.
Twitter and Instagram available exclusive news.
Get it here. Get the hot news straight off the stove. But okay, now we're going to talk about Myers-Briggs.
Yay!
So, what is it? I'm just going to read this. It's a personality inventory to make the theory of psychology types described by Jung, who's a famous guy, understandable and useful in people's lives. It's basically a way to understand your place and how you fit into a group of people and what your type is. It's a fun activity, and it also makes you feel like you're easy to be understood, and it's really nice to be understood. I don't know. It's you get that thrill.
You know, people put this on their Tinder profile sometimes.
They do?
Yes, to like let you know who they are. I've like seen it, and so I once was like, well, I'm gonna do that. So I put it on because if someone has their first letter is I, which means they're an introvert, I go, this might not work out.
But that's not necessarily true, because sometimes an introvert and an extrovert can work together.
Sometimes. I've also been to an event where it was 5 introverts and me, and I was exhausted by the end of the night because I had to carry every conversation.
Right. It doesn't work with other people, but it works on a one-on-one basis, because it's kind of a, hey, you're hanging out with a person, you talk, they listen, and when they talk, you get to, it's like a,
sure.
It kind of works yin and yang.
Conversations.
But when you start to introduce them to other people, your extrovert turns on, and then you start to be like, hey, who's this? Oh, this guy's got this.
That's exactly how I am at parties.
Yeah, and they get drained. Because that's the big, like, extroverts get fueled by human interaction, and introverts get, like, drained by it. So if you feel drained by the end of the night, you're probably introvert. If you feel like you have to watch Game of Thrones to kind of calm down because you just hung out with a bunch of people, and you're probably extrovert. That's kind of how I figured it out.
The point is, don't put it on your Tinder.
Yeah.
That was the point.
Yeah,
Also,
unless you want to find introverts.
Get off Tinder. That's right.
There's a lot of problems with Tinder.
Yeah.
So, okay. We're going to go through these personality types, and I'm going to talk about the strengths, and I'm going to talk about the weaknesses of the personality types. We're not going to probably talk about every personality type. We're going to try. But we're also not going to talk about every Game of Thrones characters. There's some glaring blind spots in this.
Also, there are
there's a lot of them, but there's a couple that I'm like, I kind of want to talk about still, maybe on a future episode.
All right.
But we only have limited time.
Yes.
So, okay, first one up I want to talk about is the archetype. Architect. Also known as INTJ. All these weird letters are there to kind of, they mean something, but let's go with the simple architect.
Okay.
They are imaginative, strategic thinkers with a plan for everything. Don't say yet.
I have a guess.
Don't say yet.
I have a guess.
Let me read out what the strengths and the weaknesses are.
Okay.
And then you can guess. Okay,
Is
strengths.
this person dead? Go on.
We'll
Go
continue. On. Okay. Also, there may be more than one character that fits into these categories. Okay, so the strengths are they're quick, imaginative, and they have strategic mind. They have a high self-confidence. They are independent and decisive. They are hardworking and determined. They are open-minded. They are a jack of all trades. But the weaknesses are they are arrogant, judgmental, overly analytical, loathe highly structured environments, and they're clueless in romance.
Okay.
So this is the architect. So what characters do you think fit into this?
I'm gonna guess Littlefinger.
Okay.
And Varys.
Ooh, that's a good
Right,
guess.
bald eunuch guy.
Yeah, it's Varys. It is Littlefinger.
Yes,
It is Littlefinger.
That's the only one I'm gonna get.
It's also, this is an old one, Tywin Lannister.
Oh, Papa.
He also fits into it.
Papa Lannister.
Yeah,
Yes.
Papa Lannister. Because they're both like very, I think for obvious reasons, they're both conniving. The
Yes.
clueless in romance was like, oh, that's very Littlefinger.
Yeah.
Where he's just, he doesn't read.
Sansa.
Yeah, he's like, this is how you get a woman.
Right. You kidnap her. You love her mother first. You
Yeah,
you tell her how much she looks like her mother.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Listen, I was in love with your mother in a very creepy way.
And
but
you
she's
look like
gone.
her.
So let's just do this thing, huh?
I got one. I'm so proud of myself.
Good job.
Do you think also Varys would fall into that?
No.
Okay, fine.
I think Varys falls into another one.
Hint.
Hint, hint.
Okay.
Okay, we got next one. We have we're still in the introverts, remember, too. This is the introvert section.
Is it weird that I'm like nervous as though I'm playing?
I know you're not gonna win anything.
Like I'm on Schmodown.
I'll give you
something.
a
I'm like,
high
"Oh."
five after this. I don't know.
I expect more.
Okay.
Go on.
Next one is INTP, also known also known as the logicians. Logicians.
Not magician?
Like magicians, but with logic. Logicians.
Oh, no.
An innovative inventors. They're innovative inventors with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Okay. Unquenchable. Don't guess yet.
No, I'm thinking.
Let
That's
it brew.
my thinking sound.
Let it brew.
Innovative inventors.
Innovative. Listen, I didn't write this, but
that's
you
what
are totally right. It says
Innovative
innovative inventors. So, you know, they're like inventors, but even more so.
All right.
Times 5.
Okay.
Okay, so their strengths are great analysts and abstract thinkers, imaginative and original, open-minded, enthusiastic, objective, honest and straightforward. But their weaknesses are they're very private and withdrawn.
Mm-hmm.
They're insensitive. They are absent-minded. And they are condescending. They also loathe rules and guidelines, and they second-guess themselves.
Okay.
So what's also good to note is not everything is going to be right on the point.
So I think Sam
Oh, interesting.
would fall into this, right?
You think so?
Yeah.
I see. Sam is actually someone who's a blind spot because he's not on this, and I don't know why.
But this does sound like him, right?
This sounds a little Sam.
I mean, like, there's definitely, like, he's not condescending, but I feel like we've seen that he clearly doesn't like rules
the
because he
thing
left
is-
the Citadel. He's like, screw this.
The thing is, I think there's another one that actually is a bit more Sam that I read as Sam, not the website,
Right.
but I read as Sam, and for reasons that like Sam is like still he's an introvert because he likes to read and stuff. But he has a loyalty and a familial side
But he's
that I feel like is a big part of him.
Inventor.
Eh,
I don't know.
I mean, he's a researcher.
Is Melisandre?
No, she's another blind spot, but maybe. Melisandre's hard, though, because she's all sorts of magic. So it's kind of hard to tell where she is right now.
But I feel like she totally is, like, innovative, and she's condescending and tells you kind of how it is.
She kind of loathes rules
Yeah.
and guidelines, but she also has a prophecy that she's trying to fulfill. So she's not on here.
Right.
She's not one of the, like, for sure. Not that any of these are for sure,
Right.
because I bet a lot of you disagree with this. But, yeah, I mean, they are. She is an abstract thinker. I could say that she could fit into this.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes,
Thank
even
you.
though that isn't one of the...
I just need you to always say, like, sure.
Sure.
Thanks.
Ha!
There she is. I win.
There she is. But another one is Varys. This is where your first guess, but he fits more into here, I think, because for one, he's definitely condescending.
Yeah.
He loathes rules and guidelines. He's not absent-minded, but he also second guesses himself. I think he's someone who realizes when he needs to change course, and he does change course. While the first one's a bit more of a manipulative, like person. He's more in the background, and he's a bit more open-minded too. He's not as rigid as Littlefinger, so he lets in other people, but at the same time he has his own magic. So I think that's why he fits more into here.
Right.
Also, weirdly, the website says Aemon Targaryen, which is strange that they have him here.
Remind me who that is.
He is the Targaryen of the Wall. You can see a picture we have of him now. He is R.I.P.
That's a character that I definitely think about when I'm trying to play a quiz.
Yeah, but I also think you could tell that when they put this together and they reference these people.
Season 1?
It was not quite season 1. I think it's a little bit of season 2, but it's early seasons.
Right.
I still think, and I think that's also true because I think they wanted a good and bad because Varys is not that he's that bad, but he's still like behind the scenes, but support, kind of a support to them. Okay, so next one.
Okay.
All right, next one is ENTP, and it's debaters. So now we've moved. There's a couple of. Well, no, he's still in the analyst. He's still in the analyst section, but he does have an E in the front of his name, so I think he's a bit less of an introvert.
Okay.
Or whoever this person is.
It's a he.
No, it's also could be a she.
All right.
I'm just very
be a
sexist.
they.
So
Could be a they.
a normal person is a he to me. That's just how I see the world.
We're gonna have a lot of problems.
That's not true at all.
Go on.
Okay, so he is ENTP, or this person is ENTP.
What's the name of this one?
Debaters.
Debaters.
This is the debaters. So the strengths are they are knowledgeable, they are quick thinkers, they are original, they are excellent brainstormers, they are charismatic,
Got it.
they are energetic. Let me finish before you say who this is. This is an easy one. They are
It'd be
energetic.
really funny if I'm wrong. Go on.
The weaknesses are they are very argumentative, they are insensitive, they're intolerant, they could find it difficult to focus, they dislike practical matters, and that's it. That's it. I said it.
They're also about 5'2", less than.
Maybe they tend to be. Oh no! It says they tend to be very tall. They could sometimes not be tall, but they
size
tend to
right.
be.
It's Tyrion.
It's Tyrion. Yeah, this is the Tyrion one.
Yeah.
Which is, I found this one very convincing because all of that Tyrion's really fitting into an archetype here, because this describes him to a T. Every single part of it, even the can't find it difficult to focus.
Yeah.
I feel like
Because if there's wine, he's out.
if there's wine, he goes into it.
If there's a naked girl, he's out.
Yeah, it's also there's a part of this personality where he bonds. This personality bonds with people by arguing with them, and by being if you can't argue with them, if you can't match wits with them, then that person cuts you out of your world. And I think that's how he befriends people most of the time. That's why he's friends with Bronn. That's why he likes Jon Snow too.
Right.
Because they're able to banter kind of back and forth.
That one was nicely easy. I want more like
Nicely. There's a couple of them that are going to be just as easy.
Great. That one feels like they went, how would you describe Tyrion?
Yeah,
and they wrote it.
That is a psychological personality type. Perfect. Okay, next one is INFJ. And this
Excuse
is
me?
INFJ.
It's rude.
And they are advocates. They're advocates. So the strengths are they are creative, insightful, inspiring and convincing, decisive, determined and passionate, altruistic. But their weaknesses are they are sensitive, extremely private, perfectionists, they always need to have a cause.
Are they also blonde?
And they can burn out easily.
They burn out easily.
They burn out easily.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Daenerys.
No.
Really?
No. Not according to this. Some people might find that she fits into that.
You described her.
I think you can argue it, but can she really burn out easily?
Yeah.
Do you think that's an aspect of her? Do you think she gets
I don't know if
tired?
easily, but she does feel. I feel like this last season she felt a little burnt out.
Yeah.
Until she got a little rejuvenation with her nephew, but
I also will say, I don't know if she's that decisive.
I think
Maybe
not this season.
Right.
But I think that up until this point, she has had a cause and she has set her mind to it and she has done it. And this season, we even saw her in her decisiveness of, well, if you're going to disobey me, I'm going to kill you.
Okay.
I feel like she very much fits this, but according to them, she doesn't. Now
well,
I can't think of
who else do you think could fit into that? I think you could do this. I bet. Who do you think?
I was so stuck on her now.
I know, but break your mind from that.
Okay.
Who do you think always needs to have a cause? I think that's a.
That's
a good
Jon
one.
Snow.
There you go.
Yeah.
There
I was
you
like,
go.
if it's not her, it's him.
I feel like he burns out easily too,
Oh,
because he's constantly like, why?
I don't want to be a judge. I'm tired.
Also, I think there's also, you got to remember that they are extremely private.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that is Daenerys. I don't think she tends to be one who wants to be private.
I think with her private life, she is. We've seen that with lovers she's taken.
I guess so, but I feel like she still enjoys being a queen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that comes from an extrovert
Okay.
nature. So, but Jon Snow is definitely an introvert.
Right.
You know, he does not want to be king of the North, but he also feels like he needs to have a cause.
He doesn't want to give a big speech, but he does want to do his cause.
He wants to, yeah, he wants to help out, but at the same time, he's just like, I really just want to hang out with my wolf, find a girl. And also, this is interesting because I looked up on this website. They also say, like, you know, what relationships are like, what they're like in a relationship. And this person, when it comes to romantic relationships, INFJs take the process of finding a partner seriously. Not one for casual encounters. People with the INFJ personality type instead look for depth and meaning in their relationships. They take the time necessary for someone they truly connect with, and once they found that someone, their relationship will reach a level of depth and sincerity that most people can only dream of. Which I feel like is him with Ygritte, like, you know, Ygritte. And also kind of what's happening right now with Daenerys.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like when
right.
he dives into a relationship,
Yeah.
he really dives in. Okay, so next person.
This is really stressing me out for some reason.
Well, it doesn't
don't
need to be. You can get these answers wrong. It's okay. And also, you might be right, because I think there's a lot of people that disagree with this. I looked up, like, there's a Reddit, there's a whole Reddit stream that's
there
just
always?
an argument over which, like, character is which, and people get passionate about the Myers-Briggs personalities themselves. And they get passionate about the Game of Thrones characters. So mix the two. Ooh. Woo. All right. Next person up is an INFP who's a protagonist.
The protagonist
They're the protagonist.
of this story by chance?
It's just called the protagonist.
Great. I think I know who it is.
Okay. Well, the strengths are they are tolerant.
Wait, this is an INFT.
INFP.
INFP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think something is amiss here.
It's not an E.
I'm double checking. You know what? It's an ENFJ. It's ENFJ as protagonist.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
what I thought.
Okay.
Without any
ENFJ.
information, I went, I think a protagonist would
You're
be an
jumping
extrovert.
ahead of me here.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay. So the strengths are they are tolerant, they're reliable, they are charismatic, they are altruistic, and they are natural leaders. Natural leaders. The weaknesses are they are over idealistic, too selfless, too sensitive. They have a fluctuating self-esteem, and they struggle to make tough decisions.
Is this one not Jon Snow?
See, that's the thing about these two. I think the difference is one is introverted and one is extroverted.
Sure. So this is Daenerys.
This is Daenerys.
All right. I definitely also at first, just by the title, was like, it's Arya.
Yeah, it's a protagonist. What's funny is like there's little cartoon images on 16 personality types and 16 personalities, and the little cartoon for this looks like Ned Stark. But it's not Ned Stark. They just
No.
decided to put a very like, oh, that's what a protagonist looks like. It's a guy with a sword.
It's no.
Holding a sword.
And
No.
yet the two people I suggested were women.
Yes. Look at that.
All right. So Daenerys. Anybody
Makes
else?
you think, huh? No, it's Daenerys. Right now it's just Daenerys, but
Right.
it could fit other people.
All right.
Her relationship is similar to the other one, where when they select a partner, they keep their eye towards the long haul, and they're not really into casual encounters, which brings up a question of like, she's not really like that. She kind of likes casual encounters, except when you think of the people she does have casual relationships with, she sticks with. So she's there. She's there with them for a very long time. Okay, next one up is ISTJ, and they are the logisticians. I know it sounds a lot like logicians,
It's not the same thing.
but it's a logisticians.
Which means logic. What?
They're not. Well, these are in the Sentinels category. So these are the people that are a bit more of very business oriented, I guess, in like modern times, or they can be.
The guy of coin.
We're not there yet.
It's the something of coin.
Something of coin.
The coin. The coin.
This person is described as practical and fact-minded individuals whose reliability cannot be doubted. Whose reliability cannot be doubted. All right. So the strengths are: they are honest and direct. They are strong-willed and dutiful. They are very responsible. They are calm and practical. They create and enforce order. They are a jack of all trades. Weaknesses: they are stubborn. They are insensitive. They are always by the book. They are judgmental. And they often unreasonably blame themselves. Who do you think it is?
First, I was thinking Jamie,
Interesting.
but then I was thinking Robb.
Oh, that's an interesting one. There's two people under here, but
Great.
Robb isn't one of them.
Okay.
Robb is under.
Oh, Robb is on this list. All right.
Okay. Because there's a few seasons back. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. I don't know.
Anyone else?
No.
Ned.
Okay.
Because why?
fair.
You're just not thinking of
I
him
just
because it's
don't
first
think of,
season.
yeah, I don't think of Ned.
But his ghost hangs over this whole show. He's always there.
I know, it's just something about, like, once he lost his head, I was like, man, well, he's gone.
He's gone. No one needs to
Yeah.
think about. But you got to remember his past lessons. Like, he's someone who was so by the book and was so dutiful and loyal to his own moral cause. One of the descriptions of this character is that they can't separate their own personal life from their moral obligations.
Yeah.
So he's so focused on that.
It very much is Ned. I forgot he existed for a minute.
There's also another character who lasted a few more seasons, who's under this too, of a different family.
Great.
A different king.
Sure.
Right? Okay.
Great.
It's Stannis Baratheon. Because he also has his own order and his own sense of duty.
Right, right.
And he sticks to it. And they're different senses of duty, but they're the same personality types. So I find that interesting. Okay, moving on. Next one is an ISFJ.
Was that one also an introvert?
That one was an introvert,
Okay. Yeah, I would say no.
Yeah, because they're both introverts, I
Yeah.
would say. They have like a sense of duty, but they're not like there for the applause. Like neither Ned or Stannis are there so people will pat them on the back. They
Right.
feel like they're living by a code they need to fulfill. Okay. So the next one is ISFJ, so another introvert. They are the defenders.
The Defenders
Defenders. They are the defenders.
is it
This is someone I'm going to
Luke
tell
Cage.
you. I'm going to tell you right now.
Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Defenders?
there's one person.
Giving
Okay.
quality jokes, you're not even paying attention.
That's great.
God.
I laughed so much inside.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So the strengths of the defenders. We're not counting Daniel Rand.
I
Who needs
never
him?
do.
No, whoever counts him.
No.
Okay. So the strengths are: they're supportive, they're reliable and patient, they're imaginative and observant, they're enthusiastic, they are loyal and hardworking, they have good practical skills. So everything I lack, they have good practical skills. Weaknesses are: they are humble and shy. They take things too personally. They repress their feelings. They overload themselves. They are reluctant to change. They are too altruistic. Now, I will say, their choice, the website choice, I don't necessarily agree with, and I have my own choice.
I at first was like, oh, Arya. And then you got to the first the first negative. Yeah, weaknesses.
Humble and shy.
Yeah, and I was like, nope,
No.
not Arya.
Not humble and shy.
Not at all.
Humble and shy, though, is a sticking point for who they think is that makes me kind of disagree with it.
Humble and shy.
Because there's not too many humble and shy people.
Yeah, I was like, who's humble and shy on this show?
Yeah, there's only one person, I think, who can be labeled as humble and shy, and they don't mention him. So this is where I think Sam fits. This is my Sam. This is because he takes things too personally, represses his feelings. He's also too altruistic, reluctant to change. I think all of that is kind of fitting. He kind of enjoys change in the show because he's changing for the better. But he's, I don't know, he's also like good practical skills because he's good at, you know, cleaning up all that poop.
And cooking.
I mean, he was in cooking.
Yeah.
And then combining the two, and you don't know which is which. But they think it's Catelyn Stark, which is a weird one to me because I don't think of her as humble and shy, for one.
Yeah.
But also, she is too altruistic, but she's in a very familial sense. She kind of like watches over her clan.
Yeah.
She was reluctant to change, but that was for good reason, because she later got her throat slit.
Yeah.
You know, but and she doesn't really repress her feelings. So
Yeah,
I don't agree with that one.
I want to know what the audience thinks of that one
Let's
specifically.
see who's chatting with us.
Anyone?
Oh, people were thinking Bran for this one.
For this one?
But good practical skills, I would say. It's also hard to see with Bran because now he's a space case. You
I was
know?
like, when we say Bran, we mean
Is this
Bran.
pre or post goth Bran? You know, is this before he became the three-eyed raven or not? That was a Stormy Wood suggested Bran, but also Sansa. Someone was suggesting Sansa.
Yeah, Sansa. I thought for a second.
There's one that they put Sansa under a different category, and I think I understand why they put her under that, and we'll get to that in a second. But this could be appropriate for Sansa now.
Okay.
But she has changed.
Right. That was, yeah, she very much adapted to her surroundings as she needed to be.
But these personality things are supposed to be kind of constant.
Yeah.
Except they, you know, they're not gospel. But
like,
they're also...
they're like astrology where like, it's not.
Yeah, it's like...
not a...
It's like that. What house of Hogwarts you're going to be in?
Yes,
but
which
for
we're
the
doing
Bran.
next.
Yeah, if we have time, which we're running out of time, so probably not. But anyways, so they say Catelyn, I say Sam. One thing that they say in the relationships of this is that as this personality's kindness grows into joy, that is only found in taking care of their family and home, in being there for emotional and practical support whenever it's needed. So that's why I think they went with Catelyn.
Yeah, that's Catelyn.
Yeah, so like home is where the heart is for people with the ISFJ personality type. So there's a bit more involved than just the strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
I think they're a very familial group, but that's also why I think it's Sam, because he's really finding his joy in taking care of this little family he has now. Okay, next one is the executives. ESTJ. Okay. They are excellent administrators, unsurpassed at managing things or people.
Great.
And, okay, so their strengths are they are dedicated, they are strong-willed, they are direct and honest, they are loyal, patient, and reliable, they enjoy creating order, and they are excellent organizers. The weaknesses are they are inflexible and stubborn, they are uncomfortable with unconventional situations. They are judgmental. They are too focused on social status. They are difficult to relax. And they have difficulty expressing emotion.
So I definitely want to say Cersei.
It isn't, but
I also
you know
want to
what,
say
man?
Marjorie.
Yeah, Marjorie isn't on this list, but I could see her fitting into that, except I think that she has some real... She uses her, she blooms under popularity, and this is more of a management position. So there's kind of a popularity zone that we haven't gotten to yet. But so they say it's Robb Stark.
Okay.
Which I think makes sense, because he's kind of like, he was a good,
Yep, I love her.
yeah, that's good.
Oh,
but he was a
fun.
good king at the time. He made some bad decisions, of course, but like, you feel like he kind of managed people.
Yes.
and too focused on social status, it also fits under this.
The tiny queen.
The tiny
The little
queen.
girl.
Yeah, Lady Mormont.
Yes.
I wish Lady Mormont was on this because I don't know if she fits under this
No,
because
no,
I
but
don't.
she definitely like is good at managing her team.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
But she's also believes in duty, so she might
Right.
be more under the other ones. Okay. Next one. We gotta get
There
faster.
she
here.
is.
Okay, next one is
Yes.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh. We're super low on time.
Yeah, we're running out. Okay, next one are consoles. This is the one that I really wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Because, they're... I don't know if I agree with them at all. So, okay, this is strong practical skills. Oh, wait, let me read what a console is. Okay.
Please.
So, extraordinarily caring, social, and popular people, always eager to help. Oh, boy. I'm going to
always-
tell you right now, that does not fit who we're about to describe.
Okay, because I was like,
Okay.
I can't think of anyone.
Okay, so ignoring that description,
that's out. Go.
the strengths are strong practical skills, strong sense of duty, very loyal, sensitive and warm, good at connecting with others.
Okay.
Weaknesses are worried about their social status, inflexible, reluctant to be to innovate or improvise, vulnerable to criticism, often too needy, and too selfless.
I want to say Jamie.
No, but you're in the right family.
I'm sure I am.
They think that it's Cersei.
That is not how I would describe Cersei.
I would
at
not
all.
describe Cersei at all by that. I think she's very conniving, and I think she's
Yeah.
very into... She's not too selfless. I think they're focused on her as a mom.
That's not what anyone thinks of when they think of Cersei, is how she
Yeah.
is as a mother. We think of her as a leader, as a queen, as a lover of her brother.
Right. But that's one thing that manages the most to her is her family. And now that it's all burned away, she's become something darker.
Right.
That's who she was. They also say Sansa, and I could say that this is where Sansa began, because she was very concerned about like her social status, and she wasn't flexible, didn't want to improvise. She saw a path, and she wanted to keep at it. But
I could see that.
Yeah,
But I also feel like Jamie fits here.
right. Okay, next one. I got to move fast. There's still a couple left. Next one
no.
is Virtuoso, ISTP. Okay, Virtuoso is bold and practical experimenters, masters of all kinds of tools. Okay, so this person, strengths are optimistic and energetic, creative and practical, spontaneous and rational, know how to prioritize, great in a crisis, relaxed. Weaknesses are they are stubborn, insensitive, private and reserved, easily bored, dislike commitment, and they have risky behavior. Who do you
Braun?
think this is? No, but I think it fits.
It fits
I think it fits
so
Braun.
perfectly.
Braun's not listed. I'm going to say it's Braun, though.
Yeah.
It is a main character, though. Suggested that person before.
I'm sure I did.
This is Arya.
Really?
Yeah, they describe this as Arya, which I think you could see it because she's stubborn.
Yep.
She does risky behavior, but she also knows how to prioritize. She's spontaneous and rational.
Yeah.
She knows like when to be both. She's creative and practical.
Okay.
And she's relaxed. Like, because I was thinking about,
Yeah.
that whole last couple of episodes where she has to deal with her sister and how she laid back and, like, dealt with the little finger problem.
Yeah.
I think kind of shows how even-minded she is.
I agree completely.
Right. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have.
Oh, no!
We didn't get the Jamie. We didn't get to our Hogwarts houses. Maybe we'll have to do this as a part 2 for another time. We didn't get all the personalities. But thank you so much for joining us. Yell, where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere at Yell Teagle, and right here on Thanksgiving weekend, I will be leading Game of Thrones Weekly, but at Yell Teagle and at Yell TV, YAEL.tv.
And you can find me at MrDaveChild on the Twitter and DaveChild.com. And please, if you go to DaveChild.com or if you go to my Twitter at the very top, the pinned tweet, please watch a short I wrote and produced called Press Start about living your life as a video game. We're trying to get as many views as possible because we're trying to sell it as a TV show. So
Oh.
please take a look at it. I'm really proud of it. Just went to the Austin Film Festival. That's where it was all last weekend. So please watch it, enjoy it, share it, and thank you for joining us, and join us next week for Game of Thrones Weekly.
Thanks.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Vala Magulis.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.